So, good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start our new chapter, the Mughal Empire. We have seen Delhi Sultans. Now we are going to see the Mughal empires. Who were the Mughals? So, might be in the Mughal Empire. Like in Shivaji Maharaj's history, we have seen three Mughal empires. So, who are Mughals? We are going to see in detail now. The Mughal occupy a very huge portion of Indian history. This is because of two reasons. So, which are those? First, compared to the rulers before them, they were by far the dynasty who ruled and the longest and the largest part of the subcontinent. Traces of their way, organization of law and order, government, functioning rules for passing on the property and kingdoms can be seen even today also. So, if you see that Mughal Empire was a powerful empire and that were ruled in subcontinent in the Middle Age. So, do you know earlier the Red Fort in Delhi was the residence of the Mughal emperor. So now let's see who were the Mughals. The Mughals were the descendant of the true great lineage of the rulers. This is very similar to habit to use see at home also. Yes. So you will see some tradition and mannerism that have passed on from your grandparents, isn't it? Some ritual, some so you will see some tradition and mannerism that have passed on from your grandparents. It may be a kind of food you eat or the manner in which you pray or the celebrations which we celebrate like festivals. So carrying that forward, you will notice that some of these practice come from the father's sides of your family, isn't it? Like from our your dad, dadi, sometimes it's come from chacha or some bhau or your cousin. Yes, so some things, some traditions, some manners we are following from our mother side also, from our nana, nani, mama, mausi. Yes, it is brother, bhau. Yes. So, is it from yours? But it is, see, bhau also you can say it is from your brother side. Means it is from father's sides also, isn't it? If it is bua, that is okay. But see, if she married and went to another family, then we are not following their rules and traditions, isn't it? But we are following the rules or the traditions or the mannerism of our father's sides. Those are dad, uh, dadi, chacha, isn't it? So sometimes we follow the traditions of our masi, means mausi, our nana, nanis, mamas. Okay. Similarly, but at a much larger scale, the Mughals can trace who they were influenced by to there. So, mother sides, Genghis Khan's descendant from east and northeast of the current days India. Father side, they were Taimur's descendants from west, northwest of current, northwest of current days India. So, who were these Mughals? Mughals were the descendant of two great lineage of rulers. From their mother side, they were descendant of the Genghis Khan. And Genghis Khan ruled over Mongol tribe, China and Central Asia. And from their father side, they were the successor of the Taimur. Taimur ruled over Iran, Iraq and modern day it is Turkey, or you can say here in India, northwest of current day India. So, do you know, friends, Mughals emphasize their Taimur's descendants rather than the Mongol descendants. Mongol descendants were from which side? Is it for the maternal or paternal? Yes. So, they always, Mughals emphasize their Taimur descendants rather than the Mongol descendants. They never uh, like themselves to be associated with the Genghis Khan. So Mongol is mentioned in the worksheet here, or in the worksheet PPT, or you can say in book also, because Genghis Khan was ruled over the area of Mongolia, and Mongol tribes belong to Mongolia. So the Genghis Khan, he was associated with the massacre. It is means killing a large number of people. That is why Mughal never wanted to be with them. Second thing, the Uzbek, which was Mongol's tribe, and the Genghis Khan ruled. So they never wanted to be with Genghis Khan or the maternal sides. Second thing, Uzbek, which was the Mongol's tribe, and the Genghis Khan ruled over them, was the competitor of the Mughal. So having friendship with the your competitor is something that was not logical, isn't it? So they don't want to associate with them. If you ask your parents who the first Mughal emperor was, they might remember Babur. But Timur is Babur's great grandfather. So if you were Babur, Timur would be your Dada's Dada. Okay. So you have to do this at home. Find out your Dada's Dada and Nana's Nana names. Okay. So next in tomorrow's period, we'll discuss this. So till the time you have to find out this. Okay. So let's see the Mughal Empire, Mughal military campaign, and the tradition of succession. The medieval king and the emperor focused a lot on their kingdom's expansion. The Mughals were no different. So, like other kings and kingdoms, they also expand their kingdom. So, how they expand the kingdom? Other king, yes, and these Mughals were not different or exceptions for that. By conquering other or the neighbors kingdom, yes, with the help of business, okay, with war, yes, they fight with others. In fact, they brought a huge portion of present day India under their regime and under their territory. This meant whoever took charge fought war, a lot of wars. So who is strong? So whoever took charge fought war and lot of wars for conquering others' territory and to expand their region. If they own, then what will happen? Yes, in previous chapter also we have seen many times that when they own, they get all the things, slaves, whatever, their elephants, horses, then their whatever treasury, all the things they get. So if they own, the king expanded, and if they lost, they would take a break and wage war again. So if they own, they expand, they grow their kingdom. But when they lost, that time again they take few break, and again they prepare for war. This is more apparent in the struggles with the Afghans and the Rajputs through the generation. Some Mughal emperors were more successful than others. So for that you need to see the table which is given in the book. So Babur, who we know as the first Mughal emperor, was made king when he was 12 years old. Yes, student, it is he was younger than you. But he did not win his first war and went away to Iran. But he came back with strength, with a bang through Afghanistan, conquering some regions along the way till Delhi and Agra. So he became king. Yes. So he did not win his first war and he went to Iran. But when he came back, that time he was more powerful. He was with very strength. So he conquering some region along the way till Delhi and Agra. Babur's son Humayun, he had to split the kingdom as per his dying father's will. So, however, his brothers were unhappy with the distribution and Humayun ended up losing a part of his share to one of his brother. So when see if there is not a will of any king, so that who will be the next king? When there is not will of a king, so that time who will get the that throne or who will be the next king? Eldest son, bigger son will get or he will be the king. So Humayun was the eldest one, so he was the king. But his Babur wants to split his kingdom into his whole, whatever sons were there with them. So he distributed the kingdom, but his brothers were not happy with that distribution. So Humayun ended up losing a part of his share to one of his brothers. So Humayun's son Bab Akbar was by far the most successful Mughal emperor. So most of the time we have heard about the Akbars, and he was very good. So not only did he rule almost 50 years, he took more land in charge and ruled the heart of the. He was very good king. So that's why it is said that he ruled the heart of the people. If Delhi is a small circle, Akbar's military campaign expanded the circle in all directions. So, if you see the Delhi is a small circle, Akbar's military campaign expanded the circle in all directions. So, from Delhi, it was expanded to all the direction. His territory, his military campaigns expanded to all the direction from the Delhi, Kabul, then Kundara in the northwest to as far south as Khandesh, to Orissa and Bengal in the east side and the Kashmir in the north side. So if you see these places, it is all in the all sides in the all the direction from the Delhi. You can see here Mughal Empire in 1605, and when it was expanded and at in 1707. So how much it was? Akbar's son Jahangir spent his 20 years. So if you see here, Akbar's or how much they have expanded their kingdom empire. So the Akbar's son Jahangir spent his 20 years in maintaining what Akbar had achieved. So this is not just conquering or expanding the territory or kingdom. So they have to maintain this. So Akbar's son Jahangir. So it is not just student conquering the kingdom or empire, expanding empire, but they have to maintain it. So Akbar's son Jahangir spent his 20 years in maintaining what Akbar had achieved. So you can imagine that how much he had acquired his empire. So he lost some ground to the Sikh and the Ahoms and some to his own son Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan worked towards gaining ground that his father had lost. While he could not seize some of the northeastern territories back, he was more successful southward. So as we know that in southward he ruled in south, so he was not that much successful in the eastern territory, but he was more successful in south. So what goes around come around. So Shah Jahan was overthrown by his son Aurangzeb. See, for gaining territory or for gaining power, they are just not a single thought of their relations also. So this Shah Jahan was overthrown by his son Aurangzeb, and Aurangzeb continued the win some, lose some policy. Sometimes he can successful in some region, but he lose somewhere also. He made way further south towards the Marathas, even as they continued to rebel against him, as did the northwestern such as Sikhs and the Ahoms. So now, have you noticed this? We have seen this, all the Mughal emperors. So which pattern you have seen, or what do you think about it? Neil, the always if the Mughal Empire, the eldest son was not always the king, but whoever is the strong, they get the far. Okay, so here also if you see that who is the stronger or who want that throne, so they get it. So while the emperor wanted to distribute their kingdom to their son as fairly as was possible, the stronger son would take over by fighting his brother and even his father also. So uh, see what is the example of this, that he can fight with his fathers for gaining or for getting the kingdom. So again, at a much larger and complicated scale, this is like a pizza being distributed between your brothers and sisters. But who want it more, and if that person is stronger, then what will happen? What what if the stronger child ruled and took a larger than fair share? Then
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.